If you're an Etsy seller or any online seller for that matter, you know how crazy profitable Q4 can be. We're talking in general about the months between September and December, and most e-commerce sellers report that their revenue that comes in from these 4 months alone far exceeds the revenue total from the rest of the year. It's no doubt that Q4 is the time that holds the most potential for online sellers because of the huge increase in number of people shopping online for the holidays. So it goes without saying that we need to be very intentional about planning out a Q4 strategy that's going to work and will truly capitalize on the season's potential. So that's exactly what we're talking about today. I'm breaking down 5 specific strategies that I personally have used to see massive success on Etsy in Q4 that you can use to explode your Etsy sales too. So let's jump in. So the first thing that is crucial to seeing success in Q4 on Etsy is to start planning before you think you need to. In general, we want to plan ahead to have our listings ready to go at least 60 days before the specific holiday that listing is intended for. So Q4 holds all kinds of holidays, everything from Halloween to Thanksgiving to Christmas and several others as well. So if we have a listing specifically, let's say for Christmas, we want to have that listing completely ready to go at least 60 days ahead of the holiday. This will give the Etsy algorithm time to get to know our listing, what it's about, to test it out a little bit, and to get it indexed and ranking in time for the peak shopping season for that holiday. Now, when I'm thinking of planning ahead for a holiday, I'm thinking of 2 main types of planning. Number 1 is doing product research to inform my product decisions and creations. And number 2 is planning ahead for my specific visibility strategy. How I'm going to get my listings in my shop out there, visible to the world, and ranking high in the search. So let's talk about the first part of this, which is the product research part. For every single season or holiday coming up, I want to make sure I'm doing 2 things. I'm optimizing and updating my older listings that still have potential to continue doing well, and I want to create new listings. So I'm going to do some product research to see if I can identify specific seasonal trends within my niche. I have to remember that things evolve rapidly and trends come and go, so the same pattern or style that was popular last year might not be popular this year. There might be something completely new on the scene that I need to learn how to incorporate into my new listings. But before I ever get started on creating the new products and listings, I want to make sure I'm looking at what's worked for me in the past and doubling down on products or listings that actually have done well for me, and figure out what new trend elements I could possibly incorporate into those older bestsellers to create a new spin or a twist on it, give it a new variation, so that I'm capitalizing on what's already worked for me in the past, and then I can move on to brainstorming and creating some completely new products with these new trends. One place I can go to see some data on what has worked for me in the past is my Etsy Analytics tab. I love to use this data from Etsy itself to see what has brought in the most shoppers in the past and be able to do more of what's working. Now, there are a lot of different ways I can do this sort of trend and product research. One is on Etsy itself organically, but if you're ready to take it to the next level, there are some specific research tools that you can use. One of my favorites is Sales Samurai. So I'm here on the keyword search tool on Sales Samurai, and this is where I can search for any keyword phrase I'm thinking of. So let's say I'm selling wreaths, and I want to do some product research specifically for fall wreaths. So I might type in a phrase like fall front door wreath. Then Sales Samurai is going to give me all of this great SEO information as far as how many times that phrase is searched per month, the competition. But what I really want to do is scroll down here to the listings area and see the top listings that are using this phrase and selling successfully. And I'm going to try to identify some different trend elements, patterns, styles, things that they're using inside their product that are repeating over and over again that I could possibly take as a clue to use in either a new product or incorporating as a new variation in an older product I have, to update it and make sure that it's something that's going to be in demand for this season. So for instance, as I'm looking at these different front door wreaths, I might notice that a lot of them are using these cute little pumpkins, and maybe if I don't have a wreath that's incorporating that yet, that could be something I could create a whole new wreath with, or a variation of an old wreath that's just adding those little pumpkins. But I'm able to see all of this on Sales Samurai, as well as what each of these listings is using in their title and tags, to get an idea for SEO of different keyword phrases that are working well within my niche. And one other thing I love to do is to click on a listing that I'm looking at on this little eye icon, and that'll take me to a page that's specifically just for that listing, where I can scroll down and see all of the different images they've used, and specifically for holidays or seasons coming up, look at their staging to get an idea of what types of props or staging inside the photo is working for this listing. It's a great idea for holidays and seasons specifically to switch out some of your photos to be seasonally staged, showing how your product makes sense for that season or holiday. So I love using Sales Samurai for this type of product research, and if you're interested in trying it out, I have linked below a free 3-day trial. You can see if it's a good fit for your business, and you can also also use the code KATE20 when you sign up for 20% off if you continue to use it beyond the free 3-day trial. And I want to give a big thanks to Sales Samurai for sponsoring this portion of today's video. Now, I mentioned changing your photos out seasonally to incorporate some season or holiday specific staging. So I'd love to know if you do this already or if you're planning on doing this. Let me know in the comments below and let me know how you go about switching out your photos from season to season. Now, we're about to move on to strategy number 2, but if you are an Etsy seller who's wanting to see more sales, maybe you haven't really seen the momentum in your shop that you've wanted to yet, or maybe you haven't even started selling on Etsy yet and you're just doing some research, I have a resource that's going to be very helpful for you. It's my free 60-minute long masterclass, the 5-pillar Etsy success formula. This is a class where I dive deep into the 5 specific pillars that I've built my entire Etsy business around that's taken my online shop to multiple 6 figures, ranked my listings time and time again on the first page of search results, and brought in new customers and new sales each and every day. So because I can only go so deep in a 10 or 15 minute YouTube video, I wanted to provide a little bit more of a comprehensive training for you that'll get you set up and started on the right foot to really see success on Etsy. So if you want to check out that masterclass, you can definitely do that after you're done watching this video. I have it linked in the description box below. Again, totally free to you, and I think it'll be a huge help as you get started with your Etsy journey. All right, moving on to tactic number 2 to crush your sales in Q4, and that is to add in seasonal or holiday specific keywords to your listing. So if you're an Etsy seller, I'm sure you know the importance of using highly searched keyword phrases in those specific places in your listing that the algorithm scans for ranking purposes, places like your title, your tags, and your description, which is definitely crucial to success, but we can take this a step further and get more tailored with our strategy to incorporate keywords that are specific to holidays we're targeting. So going along with our previous example of the front door wreath, let's say I have some different style wreaths that I want to really promote for Christmas. Instead of the keyword phrases in my title just being generic for any season like front door wreath or home decor wreath, I'm going to incorporate some holiday specific ones that I might not use during other times of the year. Maybe something like Christmas gift for mom. Let's say I sell a table runner. Instead of just using some generic keyword phrases for every season, in the fall time, I can incorporate the keyword phrase autumn table runner to make it appealing for those searching specifically for fall or autumn home decor. Now, this doesn't mean that I'm changing everything out. If I find that there's a keyword phrase that really is bringing in a lot of traffic and already working, I don't want to completely change things around with the keywords on my listing, but I can just choose some of those highly searched seasonal specific keywords to incorporate with the other ones that have already been doing well. Now, as I'm changing my SEO and keywords around, I want to make sure if I'm changing something around in the title that I'm also reflecting that change in the description and the tags as well, so that those new keyword phrases are used in all 3 of those places and matching as closely as possible. And I'm a big fan of using long tail keywords, which means we're not just using one word short tail keywords like wreath. We're going to be using a longer tail keyword, which is a whole phrase of multiple words that more specifically describes what it is. So I could say autumn berry wreath. Now, along with changing our SEO a little bit to tailor it to the specific holiday, we also need to think about our pricing. So strategy number 3 is to price to allow for promotion. Promotions are huge around the holiday season and something that's definitely a great tactic to get additional traffic into your shop. We're talking about offering discount codes, seasonal sales, flash sales. But if your price point is too low, you're not going to have any margin to be able to offer a discount code or offer a percentage off, because at that point, you're not making any profit your sale and you could even be losing money. So from the beginning, we want to look at our price point and make sure that we're pricing high enough to allow for maybe a 15% off, a 30% off, a buy one, get one free. Whatever kind of promotion we're thinking about running, we need to price ahead of time for that to allow for that so that we can still make some profit even with offering a discount or a promotion. When we're talking about physical products, shoppers are much more likely to go with the one that offers free shipping versus the one that doesn't. Now, free shipping is not always doable for every product niche, but it definitely is doable for a lot of them if you raise your prices a little bit and cover for that in the actual price point. So we have to shift our focus a little bit here from competing on price point to competing on quality. Believe me when I say people will spend money, especially around the holiday season. They're looking for gifts, they're looking for home decor. This is the time that people don't care as much usually about how much they're spending. They've allotted a certain amount and they're willing to pay for what they want. So don't be afraid that if it's too high, people might not buy. You can definitely price higher, but you have to make sure that your product reflects that price point in quality. So as long as you have a high quality, in-demand product, you can charge a higher price point and there will be a group of shoppers for that price point. All right, let's move on to our next strategy, which is to lean into email marketing. Now stay with me here. I know email marketing may not sound like the most fun or exciting thing thing to be talking about, but trust me, you want to have email marketing as part of your business visibility strategy. It's time and time again proven to be the #1 ROI or return on investment form of digital marketing. When you compare clicks and conversions from emails to social media, email blows social media out of the water by a long shot. So you want to have an email list going. Now, it's not a problem if you don't have one yet, but you need to go ahead and start as soon as possible, building that list, getting subscribers onto your email list so that you can have a direct line of communication with the people who might purchase from you over and over again. Sure, it's great to be organically found by shoppers on Etsy, but when you own an email list of people who have opted in and said, yes, I want to hear from you, you have a much better chance of securing return business from return customers, which is going to grow your shop exponentially. Now on Etsy, you can't just take emails from shoppers and add them to your email list. They actually have to voluntarily opt in and sign up to your list. So the best way to do this is by offering some sort of freebie in exchange for them signing up for your list. This freebie is often called a lead magnet or an opt-in, but this can be really anything you want to give for free in exchange for them signing up. It could be a digital download like some free printables or a checklist or a guide of some sort that's related to your niche that would serve your audience member well. It could be a code for free shipping or a discount code for their next purchase. Either way, you're offering this lead magnet and it's going to be automatically delivered to them as soon as they sign up. So you're going to have a simple landing page. It's a one simple web page that hosts a form where they can put in their first name and email address to opt into your list. You're going to send them the free thing that you've offered, and now you got that subscriber on your list, and you've got a growing list of people that you can email when you have some sort of holiday promotion. Now, if you're thinking to yourself, I have no clue what my lead magnet or my freebie could be, I've got you covered, friend. I've got a whole list of lead magnet ideas for you linked in the description box below, so definitely grab that. It's a free list that'll give you lots of different ideas for things you could offer as your freebie. But once you've got that list growing, you've got some subscribers on there, you want to plan your holiday specific promotions. Like I mentioned before, it could be a quick flash sale, it could be a discount code for a certain percentage off, but you want to go ahead and do an email promotion where you're emailing your list a few different times to let them know about the promotion and give them the link to where they can shop. So for instance, let's say you want to run a 5-day long sale from Monday through Friday. You might send the first email on Monday announcing the sale or the promotion. Then you'll send a midweek email reminding them that the sale is going on. And then on Friday, the day that it closes, you'll send one last email saying something that creates a little bit of urgency, like, remember, this sale is closing tonight. Don't let it pass. Don't wait to get your discount. So of course, we can be marketing also on social media and other organic platforms, but building an email list is going to be the thing that serves us the best for the long term and is going to become our greatest business asset. All right, moving on to our next tactic, which is to start ads early. Now, if you're not yet using Etsy ads, you might want to consider it. I know this depends on your budget, so you may not have the budget for it yet, but once you do have a little bit of a budget set aside, Etsy ads are a great way to get some traction and momentum going, especially if you haven't had a lot of consistent sales yet. Now, one mistake I see people making all the time with Etsy ads is they don't really have a strategy around it. They sort of just think to themselves, I'm going to just throw up these ads and see what happens. But a big part of this strategy is starting the ads early enough before the specific holiday or season so that you have time to gain data from the first few rounds of the ads and then optimize from there so that the ads are performing at their very best potential when it comes to the peak buying season. Normally for holidays that people are buying for, they're going to stop around 10 days before the holiday purchasing as much because they're worried it's not going to be delivered on time. So the actual peak buying season for a holiday is usually around 2 weeks before that drop-off period. So we're talking about 3 weeks at the minimum that we need to have these ads running. I say 1 to 2 months ahead of time is a much better time frame to make sure you're having time to gain that data and optimize your ads before that peak time. Now, when I'm talking about gaining data and optimizing, I'm just referring to watching your ads, seeing which ones are working, which listings are performing best, and being able to adjust some things to adjust your budget around to really put the most money of your budget behind the listings that have the most potential, that are proven to do the best. So we're turning off the things that are proving not to work well and we're ramping up the things that are working well. And you have to also think about the fact that starting earlier is going to start your sales cycle, your momentum a little bit earlier. It's going to start getting you reviews earlier. So during that peak buying season, when the majority of traffic is coming across your shop and your listings, they're seeing that you have some recent sales and reviews coming in. This is going to hugely help your conversion rate. Now, a couple things to be aware of with Q4 is that November is usually going to be your largest month in terms of revenue. If you see a huge spike in November and then it comes down a little bit in December, don't worry about that. It's normal for most of us due to that drop off about 10 days before Christmas when people are already pretty much done buying. We can also think about the type of niches were in and realized that shoppers buy earlier in the season for decor pieces and later in the season for gifting items. So you can use this knowledge to inform what you're creating when, what you're putting out there, what you're promoting during each month of Q4. Now, like I mentioned before, if you are wanting to see an increase in sales, not just in Q4, but throughout the whole year, definitely click the link in the description box below to hop over and watch that free 5-pillar masterclass. It's gonna give you my exact strategy and the 5 things that you need to make sure you do from the very beginning to see success on Etsy. Also, make sure to click the links in the description box below to try out Sales Samurai for free for 3 days, and also to grab that free lead magnet list if you're interested in starting to build your email list. Happy selling, friends!